obviously it is a denervated case where you will be plotting a SD curve. So that is so ideally you should know where the motor point is going to be, and if you are still not able to locate it, then once you put your electrode, go for even with 300, but look for the maximum contraction where you are getting it for the minimum intensity. Take that point as your point to be stimulated. Okay, keep that, mark it down, and assess the strength of the contraction. You should be very good enough in assessing the strength of palpable strength. Okay, not the visible. Okay, palpable, minimum palpable. And yet with that minimum palpable, because you are starting with 300 milliseconds, as you are going towards the short pulse duration, especially at 1, 3 and 1, you will have the difficulty to decide the strength. Why? Because the current earlier was flowing for 300 milliseconds. Now it has reduced to considerably 1/100th of what you gave earlier. That's why when you ask him, he will say, I didn't feel. Though I was increasing the intensity, we started with 3.8, later we went to 30, 10 times more than that. Yet the last one, he must have not felt as bad as the first one, because the 300 millisecond will give you a longer pulse duration. That's why we say IG will give you a stabbing effect. But though it is an IG, since the pulse duration has considerably reduced, he will not feel anything despite increasing in intensity. That is his part of it, the patient part of it. Whereas my part is, as a therapist, it is very difficult to judge the strength when you are coming to the lower duration. Okay, that's why we never want a visible contraction. Visible contraction, you require more intensity. More intensity will lead to, of course, stronger contraction, and if it is a denervated muscle, it likely to fatigue sooner. So that's the very reason we go for a minimum palpable contraction, because I don't want to go for a stronger contraction. One. Second thing is even in a visible, it is difficult to judge as you go to the lower durations, because it's going to be just a twitch, and with such a short pulse duration, it will be very difficult to judge. So palpable is easy to judge. And the third most important thing is, sometimes in a denervated muscle, when the other muscles which are good, say for example in this case cough, if he is having a foot drop cough, the current can travel to the normal muscle. Okay, because it is traveling through the extracellular fluids, so it can reach the calf easily, and calf, since it's good, it requires less intensity to get stimulated, so it will start to stimulate. And if you don't palpate, then what will happen is, actually you will be working with your calf that is working, but you are getting to see the rebound phenomena. Okay, so you will be still thinking that the tibialis anterior is working. So that's the very reason I don't want that. You have to put your finger on the tibialis anterior and palpate until the end, that you are getting the stimulation of tibialis anterior only. That's what, it's a minimum palpable contraction that we are looking for. We are looking for. Okay, fine. Now what? Thank you, sir. Okay, now what